Yes. Okay. Grease up these lips.
See? I was gonna say that's your friend, but she's my friend too, though.
She's my friend. She's our friend.
She is.
Yes.
And she's very sweet. Oops. I'm tearing up my stuff.
Girl, don't tear it up.
My sister out. Right, exactly. Your hair is good. All right, T. Well, first of all, ladies, thank you all for joining me. For those of you all who may not be familiar with this podcast, and guys, we're doing the podcast on video too. We're excited. I am Sade Dennis. I'm the program director here at the G.U.M Network, and I'm excited, y'all. This is our second podcast in our series of self-love, and I have two very, very special guests with us today. First, I have here Keyonce.
Hola, how y'all doing?
Okay.
What's going on?
Keyonce is a comedian. She's a performer, but she's also a really amazing and supportive woman and friend who has so many amazing life lessons to share with us as she takes on an amazing tour, which y'all gonna hear about in a little bit. But she's always there to give encouragement, tough love. Okay, see? Y'all see that? If y'all don't see us, guys, listen. If you're listening to this, go on over to our YouTube channel or our Facebook so y'all can see the face she just made. And we have here her lovely friend, Francesca. Francesca, what's your last name?
Porter.
Okay, so thank you for joining us. You know, before we started to tape, you were just spitting out some serious, just really wisdom on relationships and self-love and all of that. And so I said, you know what? And first of all, if y'all watching this, look at this woman. Gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
Of course.
Thank you.
Well, you always are coming correct, okay?
It must be the wig, y'all. It must be the wig messing things up.
See?
Ain't nothing messing up.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
So, guys, first of all, what is your idea when you hear about the term self-love, Key?
When I hear about the term self-love, I think about me, nobody else, nobody but me, and how I take care of myself. Of course, there are some times where I have insecurity, but I try to find ways to overcome those obstacles, those feelings, those emotions of feeling like something is wrong, because nothing is wrong with me. And I realized that. It took me some time, and I do have my struggle days, okay, where I feel like there are some issues, but it ain't that bad. And I come to the realization that as long as I take care of me, my spirituality, all of everything that's dealing with me, and I just want to emphasize on that word, me, that I'm going to be just fine, and everything is just fine. There's no problems.
And you know, that's amazing, because I think about how much our life is controlled by our thoughts. I mean, there's times when either anxiety would try to come in and disrupt my day, and I literally have to will myself, you know, talk to myself and say, you know what? First of all, I got this. I've been through worse before, and that it's going to be okay, you know, and to really treat myself with positive words. So many times we have negative words about ourselves, right? Oh man, that was dumb, or whatever the case may be, but we really do ourselves a disservice when we do that,
Right.
you know? So I know for me, comedy and laughter is really medicine. So Francesca, tell us as well, what's your concept of self-love?
My concept of self-love is simply the things that you have to do to connect yourself to yourself. I feel like we get so caught up in, you know, just the things of the world, like worldly things, as, you know, we're trying to always get to the next level. But I feel like sometimes we base the next level on what other people are doing. And so we get so wrapped up in trying to figure out how to do what we want to do based on what other people are doing.
Right.
That we forget to really say, well, what makes me happy? Like self-love is just really connecting to what makes you happy.
Right.
And that's going to be independent of, you know, a relationship, or independent of how much money you may have, or independent of what your relationship with your family may be. Like, it really is about you. And if all of those worldly things and all of those relationships are gone, how do you maintain just being happy and being okay with what you have?
Yes.
That's an amazing thing. Oftentimes we do have money and relationships dictate our view of our success or how well we're doing. But we often never say to ourselves, how do I feel?
Right.
You know, so do you want to be in that $200,000 job? I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but and where you're stressed out and feeling like you're under the gun. And I'm not saying that all high-paying jobs are like that. I'm just using this for an example. Or maybe a job where you're getting paid $75,000, or maybe in your own business, but you have peace. You're helping people. You know, are you being faithful? Do you have to compromise your integrity? I can't imagine talking about a stomach ache, how I'd feel if I had to compromise my integrity, but you're making money. But how do you feel?
Right.
Agreed.
Right.
Agreed.
You know. So, Keith, tell us now. In your comedy, you're able to really tap into a lot of what women are feeling like these days, whether it be relationships or it's that crazy thing happening at work or on the ride to work or what have you. I know when I first met you, you had some hilarious, stories about just the stuff that you would see. So how are you able to kind of channel, the things and the irritations of life and to put it into your comedy?
Girl, first I'll start off with my pills, okay?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got my little mood stabilizers because every so often I do be feeling like I want to catch a charge at work.
Oh.
But I always look at the bright side and the dark side. So the dark side is going to jail, okay? And the bright side is, do I really want to hurt this person? Or is my wig going to get twisted to the side if I do a wrong punch? You know what I'm saying? So I take into consideration all of those things. But at the same time, I have self-discipline. Mm-hmm. And I have evolved. I used to be that person to be like flying off the handle. But I found my peace, and my peace is my comedy. My peace is my therapy to myself. And nobody is taking that away from me. Wow. Somebody already almost took it. But guess what? It ain't work.
No,
it did not work.
No, it didn't. So, Pete, how did you get started in comedy? Tell us that.
I just did it.
You got a piece of hair right
Oh, I just
Yeah, I wanted to get it, but
I felt something. Is my lip still perfect?
Yes, you
I want to get that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. See, this is what girls is for. This is sisterhood. This is, yes, thank you.
You really couldn't see. I was looking at the camera, so I didn't see it, but I wanted to make sure.
All right, now what was the question?
How did you get into comedy?
So basically, I just felt like all of my life I've been entertaining people. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people have told me, like, you should be a comedian. You're so funny and things like that. And I never took it seriously. I just always thought, like, oh, I'm just being me. I'm just being my personality. I'm being a social person that I am. I enjoy people. I love people. I love to see people laugh. And to have power over helping someone laugh when they're going through their toughest times is rewarding to me. So one day I just was like, I'm going to try comedy. And went to a website, looked up some comedy classes, took a comedy class, and been a comedian ever since, y'all. And a live entertainer, and an actor, and a performer, and a mother, and a sister, and a brother, and all of the old good stuff, too. Yeah.
And that's a powerful thing because it's frustrating when you want to do something, and we kind of hit on it a little bit before we started taping, but I'm going to kind of link the things together. You talked about wanting to perform, wanting to do comedy, and then doing it, and then that's therapeutic in and of itself because it's getting all that out, if you will, and really working with it. I think everything that we do, there's an energy involved with it.
I agree.
And so you were able to practice and flow into it, and really practice self-care in that way. Because I can't imagine, like, comedians, I love comedy and all that. I can't imagine if we didn't have that venue to operate in. I mean, we'd probably be either the most annoying people or something because I find humor in everything. Do you see what I'm saying? I got to get it out.
You have to.
Some kind of way.
You have to.
And so it would just come out at the wrong time. So at least now there's a way we can kind of, really work with it and really practice our gift. So, Francesca, here's some questions I want to ask you, and I'll start with you as well. What makes you have joy? And what is joy?
It's funny you say that because I've really been going through a personal struggle lately with trying to get back to what brings me joy. Like I've really been going through something, and so what I had to I've been figuring that out, to be honest with you. So I've been doing like a lot of journaling and meditation and exercise, and I've changed my diet because if you have a good diet, I feel like you have a strong diet anyway. You have a strong mind, and if you have a strong mind, I feel like you can be a strong person.
Wow.
And so, as it relates to what brings me joy, like off the top of my head, I know for sure my family. Being around my family brings me a lot of joy.
Yeah.
My family is amazing. I don't feel like my family is. it's unlike any other family. But I feel like, a lot of people may feel that way, but I know for me, my family really brings me joy. I love traveling. I love eating. Okay. Hey, I need a good
she
meal.
Do, y'all. She
need
do.
a good meal.
I told her business.
She told it first.
She did. So, just reconnecting to those things,
right.
And just what brings me joy really is quality time with people. Being able to have conversations like this. I love this. I feel like it's therapeutic for everybody. And I love relationship. I love love. I'm not in a relationship, but I'm not opposed to being.
Absolutely. Love is a beautiful thing.
But I also want to be in a place where I'm strong, and I'm able to, and I know who I am when I'm in that relationship.
That
so
self-worth is something. I think many people skip over that and go from one relationship, whether that be with just kind of fast and furious, where they have to have somebody in that space, or they have to just be so intense with everybody. And, everybody may not be at that place wanting to just love hard, love fast, and we jump to that point without doing the self-work and just what it takes for us to be in that healthy place. So we don't, repeat things, whether that, like I said, taking a bad job, involved in that wrong relationship, or involved with the wrong work situation. Yes. I mean, there's people who love being busy, and they involve themselves in every single thing, and they never have an opportunity to really experience or even know who they are. And there's a difference between being busy and productive. I want to be productive. I want to be purpose filled. I want to walk in my purpose, not just doing a bunch of stuff. And I was guilty of that. I was involved in this committee, that committee. I was at church all the time. I was at the city hall. I was trying to do, youth, boys, and girls stuff. I was trying to do every single thing, and it was only 24 hours in a day. I'm like, what am I avoiding? Really learning who I am, and it's okay to say no. Just because somebody asks you to do something, they say,
just like my girlfriend.
It's just like you ask somebody who's busy to do something. I'm like, y'all don't see I'm already busy?
Yes.
No, I don't want to be the secretary of this daggone group.
Yes, and no is a one-word answer that does not need no explanation. Now, what you don't understand, the N or the I.
See,
that's my motto.
Because I would imagine you've had to make time to create the shows that you do. You've had to create that time, right? And maybe say no to other things.
Yes.
So how have you been able to carve out that time to really create and to go after your purpose?
A calendar.
Okay.
Girl, and half the time that don't be right, but when I get it right, I'm on point with it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a good multitasker. So sometimes when things are just getting out of whack, and I know that I have a show coming out, I know I have to say, Nam Yoho Renge Kyo, for all the stuff that's surrounding me, and I got to buckle down on getting this done.
Right.
Period.
Absolutely.
Wow. So, what brings you joy, Key?
My son.
Aww.
I have a 17-year-old that drives me crazy. He's 17 going on 35, right, y'all? And for those mothers out there who have teenagers, I know I'm not the only one who wanted to get rid of my son when he turned 12 and a half.
Y'all scaring me.
And I could have skipped over
scaring me
from 12 and a half
scaring me
to 17 and got him back.
Okay.
After that. Okay. But no, my son, in all seriousness, my son is the center of my joy. And he just makes me smile. He motivates me. He changed me. And I thought I was raising somebody. He didn't raise me.
That's awesome.
Ain't that crazy? He didn't raise my big old doofy self.
So what does he think about you performing?
Oh, I had a conversation with him before I even took on this comedy journey. I felt like out of courtesy and respect to my child that he would understand that there might be times where I may say things that may be a little personal to him, to our family, to other people that he may know that may offend other people. And I just had a real serious conversation about how he felt because he has a voice. And I let him know, son, you have a voice. And if there's anything that you don't feel comfortable with, I'd like for you to tell me. But at the same time, tell me in a respectful way, because don't have me to knock them jibs. No, I don't do that.
Don't hurt the baby.
Yeah, I just play it. That was just a joke. Okay? I'm a comedian, so that's a joke. But no, I just made sure that I communicated before I did anything, and made sure that he was okay with whatever backlash I may receive, and that his mom is strong and she could take on anything.
Absolutely, it's true.
Fit it with the show.
Because I find that whether it be speaking or comedy or just presenting anything, I often will include my family, and I'm mindful of that. But it's some funny stuff, and I think many times it's relatable. People, what they find funny. So, because I should be asking my kids before I. But my kids are small; they don't know no better.
Still ask them.
Okay.
Still ask them.
All right. I'll do that.
The kids know more than we give them credit for.
They do, and they pay attention. They're very observant. They're like, "Mommy, why you ain't telling you was doing that?"
Right. I'm not be quiet. Sit down.
Yeah.
So, guys, what are you grateful for, Francesca? What are you grateful for?
I am grateful every day just to wake up in the morning. I mean, I feel like that's a given. As much as I complain about my job, I'm grateful for that, because I could be in a place where I don't have the money to pay for all these bills that I done racked up. I'm thankful for my sense of peace. I'm thankful for determination to get past, I feel like sometimes people would kind of succumb to, if you're not feeling right, okay, well, I'm just going to not do anything.
That's right.
Or I'm just going to let it get me.
That's a good point.
I'm thankful for the determination to get past that, because even if I don't feel 100%, you fake it till you make it. You get up, you get dressed, you get yourself together, and you go out and you face life. It's life. Things happen. So I'm just thankful for that determination, because some people don't have that, and I don't know. I'm no doctor, but I feel like that's kind of weird. Sometimes mental illness sets in.
Yeah.
And, mental illness is a real thing.
It is.
And, the doctor can give you all the pills in the world, but if you don't have that determination for yourself to get up and move, I don't know how, that impacts your life as to being able to get to the next level when you don't feel your best.
Yes.
Jesus. So I think right now, today, what I'm probably most thankful for is determination. And I'm thankful for my mother. That lady, she is something special. And I tell you, when I'm not feeling my best, y'all are mothers. Mothers have this thing like they know.
Yeah.
And they will not let you just be. Like, as much as you're like, Mommy, okay, I'm all right.
That's true. Mothers are superheroes. I
like,
love my mother.
Mothers know everything.
And she knows everything.
They do.
She won't just let me be.
They know the children.
Yeah, she won't just let me be, but I appreciate that, and I'm grateful for that, because some people don't have that person in their life. And even as a mother, some mothers are not that mother. So I'm thankful for that kind of mother,
Wow.
So I'm grateful for determination in my mother and my family, and just the will to have joy. Like, I want to have joy in my life.
The will to have joy.
Yeah.
So you gotta will that thing.
I have a
you gotta
will
that
to
thing.
have joy.
Wow.
Yes. Anything I want, I'm going to get it. Sometimes it doesn't feel like that every day. But I'm going to get what I want, and I'm going to continue to work on me and work towards those goals, because I know what I want.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Key?
I am grateful for my sanity and my peace. Y'all, let me get serious with y'all, because I don't want y'all to think that I be playing games all the time, because I've been through some stuff.
Wow.
Okay?
Yeah.
And like Sade said earlier, we're going to talk a little bit about my tour that I have. But there was a time where I lost all my edges. And I know some of you young ladies out there, y'all going through stuff. And y'all ain't the only one, okay? I'm grateful that I was able to go through the struggle and survive it, okay? So when I say that I evolved, I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And thanks to the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for having me as his child and taking care of me. My faith in God has grown to a point where can't nobody tell me nothing, no judge, no friend, no foe, no nothing. And I'm just grateful that I've been able to see that clearly. My path from me to God is crystal clear now. Whereas sometimes, before it was like jaded, like, what's happening?
Right.
So I'm grateful for that. My support system, my team, my sisters here.
Wow.
I'm grateful for God putting the people in my life that he did and taking those people out when he did. Because Lord knows I wouldn't be here today. Honestly, I would not be here today. And I hope y'all feel me, because I'm speaking from the bottom of my heart.
I mean, it's the truth, though. I mean, when you think about the support system, I mean, and a lot of people be like, okay, well, it's only God, but God enabled those people. God works through people.
Yes.
And God doesn't make any mistakes. And sometimes, you know, I know that He restored many people's faith by allowing His children to be there to help them.
Absolutely.
And so I'm definitely grateful for an amazing support system. I'm really grateful for just all the blessings. Of course, health and strength, and venues like this that people can talk and at least begin to have conversations about self-love. You know, we kind of touched on it a little bit before we got rolling, guys, but we talked about whether it be jobs, money, relationships, you know, God's abundance, it surpasses all those different things. I mean, you can have joy in those things, and that's great. And I think there's a lot of fulfillment there. But our calling, our purpose, and when you're walking in your purpose, you have other people that are walking in their purpose, and you kind of meet at this like vortex. So if I'm my purpose and you and your purpose, and we're working closer together, that's going to bring us closer together.
Absolutely.
So there's no sense in me stopping. I'm trying to get close with you for the sake of being closer to you, but we have a similar purpose, so we're going to meet as we're walking towards our purpose.
Right.
You know, and so that's an amazing thing, whether it's getting tips on being a mom or an entertainer or business or whatever it is. You know, we have similar purposes, and so it's a beautiful thing when you can come together with like-minded people and just learn and build. You know,
it's therapy.
Oh my gosh, isn't
Absolute therapy. It is. It truly is.
Absolutely, and it's something that is, I don't want to use the word manageable, but you got that pen and paper, you always have that. You know, you got some thoughts, you can write your thoughts down, ideas down, and build. I mean, every good thing that we are experiencing right now, inventions and you name it, started off with an idea. So I never neglect a good idea. It starts with an idea and then you build, you know. Folks who rob a bank had an idea, right? They behind bars. I mean, think about it. That mind is a powerful thing.
No, they was paying,
right?
They didn't pay their child support. They was behind the child support.
The idea was we want to get caught up on child
support.
support.
Got it.
They
Right.
said make the check out. The child.
Absolutely. So tell us about this tour. What is the Get My Edges Back tour?
So the name of the tour is How I Got My Edges Back comedy tour. And basically the tour is surrounded by my personal life. And it's a relatable tour about topics that other women, Black, white, Chinese, any type of ethnic background that may have went through, whether it was a relationship with their spouse, significant other, side piece, their children, their relatives, their in-laws, so forth and so on, where you kind of felt like you was almost losing your mind. And the edges is like the representation of losing your mind, yourself, your, security in who you are, your identity. And it's a journey. This comedy tour is literally a journey on how I felt like I was losing so much. And I did so many things to try and get it back. Prayed, cried. I called on God, I don't know how many times, y'all. Oh, Lord. Therapy, psychologist, psychiatrist, you name it. You try to find so many things to cope with the struggle. And you're going to hear these stories on what happened, how I got there, and then how I tried to use different things to make it better. But at the end of the day, at the end of this tour, I overcame them all. And don't get me wrong, I still have my good days, and I still have my back. We all do, right?
Absolutely.
But these edges is back up underneath this wig. I don't care what nobody's saying. All right? Coconut oil, ain't no olive oil,
castor oil,
ain't no none of the Jamaican castor oil. None of that stuff got my edges back. But me focusing on me and self-care, self-love, and all of these characteristics that we're talking about today. Okay? Because somebody tried to break me down. A lot of people. And I'm here to tell y'all all about it. So y'all best to tune in. How I Got My Edges Back comedy tour coming to y'all up in y'all city. And y'all better come and support because this is going to be some good stuff.
So how can people learn more about it? Like, do you have a webpage or you on social media? How can people follow you?
So I have a Instagram. You can follow me under Keyonce Coles 1. or Facebook, Keyonce Coles without the one. And that's spelled KEYONCECOLES. There's no spaces or anything in between the one or the names. As far as the tour is concerned, y'all better let me know what city y'all want me to come to, okay? New York is my home, Queens, New York. Shout out to everybody who's from New York. I'd like that to be the start of the tour because that's where it all started, you know? And New York is my home. It'll always be my home. And what y'all going to get there at the beginning of the tour is just going to be rawness. It's going to be direct. And as I keep going, it's going to get even deeper and deeper and excited. And funny, y'all, I got jokes.
I'm excited. I'm excited. I think a lot of people not only will laugh, but learn.
Oh, you're going to learn.
Grow.
You're going to learn.
That's what it's
and you're
about.
going to look at your situation. You're going to use my situation to look at your situation. And you're going to see some of the things that I tried to do that did not work that you probably tried as well. And I want everybody to know you are not the only person going through what you're going through. But I found my peace, and you can find your peace too. And this is what you're going to get out of this comedy tour. But see, we're going to make light of it. We're going to make a whole lot of light of it. And we're going to give you an opportunity to not only laugh at yourself, but to laugh at the people who tried to break you down.
Wow.
Laugh.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome. It's exciting. Give us like 1 to 2 things that will help people begin to love themselves. 2 tips.
Gospel music. Sometimes just tuning into that melodic tone and listening to someone else tell you that God loves you without you searching for it, without you asking God, well, do you love me, and waiting for that answer. Sometimes other people's voices resonate with you.
Right.
That has helped me along the way. I was born and raised off a girl. My mama was playing gospel music while I was in her stomach. And that has definitely helped me through my journey. Sometimes when I want to cry, I just put on some gospel music. Sometimes when I want to rejoice, when I want to kind of just reflect, I put that music on. Music is a savior. I want to specifically say gospel because gospel just goes back so many years of healing, of not only struggle but strength. It's always the opposite of whatever it is that you've been through, how to overcome it. And to say that there's somebody that loves you. And you're not the only one.
That's right.
So gospel has been one thing that has helped me see, that there is a way for me to continue to survive, to live, to strive for more, to be better, to improve.
Wow.
And you said 2 tips?
Yeah, yes, as well.
Gospel music and your family. Your family is now some people got messed up families. Now I'm not gonna sit up here and act like family is all that in a bag of chips, okay? But you do have some family members who were not born into your family friends, okay? Those who you met along the way. So some of those who God just put in your life that you consider as your sister, your brother, your uncle, and we all call somebody our cousin.
Absolutely.
That's my cousin. That's my cousin. You got 1,000 cousins. But it don't necessarily have to be a blood relative, okay? It could be somebody that just cares about you, a husband. It could be, the husband's mother. Not always, but
absolutely.
In some cases. But family, I'm just saying, sometimes it's not the one who God gave you, it's the one you chose, or the one he gave you along the way.
That's powerful. Francesca, what are some things that you would want to leave with our listeners in terms of how they can find that self-love, that joy? What are some of the things that have helped you?
Well, for me, let me just say this. I'm not crazy in that I recognize that social media is a booming business. And if you have a business, it's a great way to promote and do all of those things. But I'm not a person who's on social media. And I choose not to be on social media because it's important to me to maintain my sanity. And so I feel like as far as loving yourself, you can't be concerned with comparing yourself to other people.
Wow.
That to me is the fastest way to drive yourself crazy. Always trying to keep up with what someone else is doing, with what popular culture says you should be doing, with what your man says you should be doing, with what your mother says you should be doing. But just being in tune to what you say you should be doing. And then another tip, I think it's quiet time. I think that, you were speaking earlier about always being busy. Busy is a good thing if you're busy for the right reasons. But if you're busy because you're running away from things, I think it is important to take that quiet time and just kind of reflect on what is going on, so that you can address those issues. Because the more you sweep things under the rug, the higher the rug is going to get. But eventually, the rug is not going to be able to hide all of the dirt. So you have to be able to clean up.
Okay.
So don't.
You heard about the rug? You heard about the rug? You fall on top of the rug. You over the rug.
The rug is in the way.
People come in your house and the rug. Listen.
And you can't even cover up all the dirt.
You can't cover up all the dirt.
Eventually,
it's too high.
Wow.
So you have to clean up. So my 2 takeaways. I mean, I'm not knocking social media. So if you're on social media, engage, enjoy, make it fun for you. But don't make it something where you're comparing yourself to other people and making that your life to try to keep up with. It's not even about keeping up with the Joneses anymore. It's about keeping up with every Instagram model, every celebrity.
And the people be going to jail for fraud trying to keep up with people. Like, why would you use my credit card to go get you a lace front like Cardi B's?
Exactly. So
I'm mad.
Be mindful when you're on social media and just take your quiet time. Quiet time is a good thing.
Did you just?
Yeah. I'm walking around, can't even pay my light bill, and you walking around with a new lace front.
Like Cardi B. See?
You better be right.
Like Cardi B.
And you going
all the way
to jail.
She's lit.
I'm going to be right in court.
Lit every day.
Your Honor. Yep, she done stole it, and I'm mad. And give me the lace front, too. While you at it. Since I paid for it.
Right? You want it?
I want the lace front. Hell, I want a hair, too. Scalper. Scalper.
What?
Scalper. See. Your Honor. Can I request the scalp?
I don't think they do that.
I want her edges, too.
I'm not sure if they will, But I do see your point, though. I see what you.
My electric bill need to be paid.
I get it. I understand what you're trying to say.
That was good, bro.
Oh man, that was
metaphor.
Woo. Thank you. Oh yeah. How can I piggyback on that right now? I could just say, on the social media piece is to really be mindful of what we take in. As I say, junk in, junk out. We are what we eat. We are what we process. And that's also with our eyes and our ears. And I feel like if we are purposeful about the things that we listen to, like you mentioned the gospel music, and even some of the books and things, you'll be amazed at how refreshed and renewed our thinking is when we take in good things. And so I think it'll help change our mindsets and ultimately change our decisions, and will ultimately change our life. We are definitely a product of some of the things that we take in.
Absolutely.
Aren't we?
We are.
And so we have to be really purposeful to really steer ourselves back, because popular culture will say, wait a minute, I need to be doing this or that because social media or TV. And it's unfortunate because we're all out here being like little robots. And so like you talk about what makes you happy. Maybe being out and wearing the waist trainer for 18 hours. Is that probably what my personal issue is? But anyway, may not work. It may not help my asthma, But why do I have to wear that?
Because
where I'm coming from?
Social media told you to.
Right, exactly. Right. I'm tired of my asthma acting up.
Exactly. And everything is not for everybody.
Trainer. Okay, we're here. And so, but what makes me happy? I want to let it all hang out. See, that's what I want to do. Just be free. It's about freedom.
Right.
Freedom of choice. Freedom
of comfort.
Freedom of comfort.
Yes.
That's what I want. But really, and so just being mindful and purposeful about what I take in is a sure way of maintaining my peace and my self-love, and really doing just that, setting boundaries.
Yep.
So no, saying the word no is great, and saying yes to the things that I really care about, and not having to over-explain, and just really setting the example. Many times people will treat us how we allow them. And quite frankly, we can't even blame them. I fuss at my kids for leaving junk in my car and all that, but it's a right environment for them to throw their little Capri Suns. But when I start getting on them and keeping it clean, they are much more mindful to keep their little things together and throw out the junk when we leave out. But when it's haywire in there, they're not even conscious of it because the junk blends in.
Yeah.
Right.
Ooh, I hate
Exactly.
blended junk.
Why you gotta stay ill like that though?
God, I hate blended junk.
You're
If I get
shaming
your
me.
car
You're
and
shaming
it's
me.
blended,
You're
it's
car
blended,
shaming
it ain't
me.
blended
And I
into
don't
me.
appreciate it.
It's not
She's
blended
shaming
into
me.
me.
No, don't shame her.
It ain't blended
Shaming is
into
the
me.
big thing now.
She is doing
and
a
you're
metaphor.
car shaming me.
Well, if I gotta move 1,000 Capri
It's a metaphor. It's
Suns
a metaphor.
out the way to sit down, it ain't a blend. It's in the way. It's a difference.
Girl, yeah.
Right? Exactly. That ain't car shame, that's the truth. What you're not gonna do is be like, Key, get over there. And I got to move all this stuff out the way just to sit down. Well, Sade, when the last time you cleaned your car? Oh, girl, just don't worry. It's blended in. No. That ain't a blend. I ain't got no place to sit. That ain't right. Car shame.
She's car shaming me. She's shaming me.
What up?
She's car shaming me and making me feel bad about my blended capris.
Look, she call it car shaming. I call it car junk and garbage. And don't do
No.
it, please.
No, you're not gonna. You've gotten better at it. She's shaming me, by the way. It's okay though, because I have been renewed in my mind.
Congratulations.
And I don't have my kids see that bad example anymore. So we are moving forward with positivity and less Capri Suns in my car.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. But truly, so we teach people how to treat us, what we do and what we allow in our lives. Mm-hmm. And I think sometimes we are the most guilty party because, again, we don't set those boundaries. Mm-hmm. And so that's part of the whole love thing is that tough love with ourselves. So, no, I cannot leave my house at 10:30 to ride with you or drop you off anywhere because I'm tired.
Yes.
And it don't work for me.
It don't.
So there's no sense in me saying yes when I know deep in my heart that it's not going to work. So that kind of thing. So absolutely.
It sounds setting boundaries.
Right.
Do you think sometimes your own boundary limits you? That might be a topic for another day, but
well,
I'm good at setting boundaries.
That's good. And you know what though? Boundaries, I feel like they're like life protocols. And oftentimes if we govern ourselves by protocols, I mean, here's the thing. Rules, protocols, I mean, it's always those extenuating circumstances. But I think if we have policies and protocols to govern ourselves, it's a good thing. Many times people don't have any of that. And I get it. It's okay to be quote unquote spontaneous at times, but you still have some policy that works for you. Like, no, I don't do this at a certain time. Or I don't drive, across here or whatever it is for you.
Like, I don't date no man without a car.
See,
that's a protocol.
He said he got Uber.
Because it was not a protocol.
He said he got Uber.
All right,
well, what if he can send a limo to pick you up?
Can he get Uber?
Yeah.
Or Lyft?
Yeah.
Can he lift you up?
Okay, let me rephrase it.
Okay, come on, rephrase it now.
I don't date no man who asking me to come and pick them up.
All right, now there we go.
And
That's
drop them off home.
What if he want to meet you somewhere though, and you don't know, and then you fall in love with him after you realize he don't have no car?
Well, once I found out he ain't got no car, no means of transportation, yep, it's over.
So you gonna car shame him?
Yes, I am.
Yes. I'm not doing all that. I got 104,000 miles.
Don't ask me for.
And I got a 2015 Nissan Altima, okay?
All right.
And I ain't got no money to do all them repairs, trekking you and trekking me and my son and everybody else.
Got it. So you're not gonna be his car mom. You're not gonna be his soccer mom.
No.
You're not gonna date him and be soccer mom.
Ain't no unless.
It ain't no unless. No unless. It's not the same.
She's not playing. She's not playing. So you got
my mind was somewhere.
Okay. So she's kind of happy over there.
I'm telling you.
It went to a happy place.
Okay.
Trust me. Went to a happy place. I'd have been there. See, that's how I got my edges back, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all.
See.
I stopped doing those bad things, you know.
We're gonna pray.
Yeah.
But okay, see. But this has been really good, ladies. Thank you for spending some time with the viewers here. And guys, wasn't it awesome? So remember, this is all about self-love, and we're going to be covering topics on self-love all season long. How long is the season? It's going to be all year long. That's the season of self-love, and we're excited because all season long we're going to talk about how to love ourselves, how to grow, how to build, and all that good stuff, guys. So once again, thank you, ladies, and thank you all for joining us here on the G.U.M Network. And by the way, guys, remember, we can be heard on, first of all, everywhere podcasts can be heard. So that's iTunes, that's Spotify, all of really, this Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and of course you can view this on YouTube as well as on Facebook. Now, guys, until next time, but before I even go there, don't forget to visit us at www.thegumnetwork.com. And listen, we want to hear from you. What are your questions? How are you guys loving yourselves? Are you keeping yourselves accountable? I hope so. Are you leaving Capri Suns in a car? I hope not.
I hope not.
I hope not. Okay? Because it's not really blending.
And now y'all coming to my comedy tour.
Of course.
Because what's not going to happen is y'all not going to be not coming to my comedy tour because it's going to be lit. Y'all want edges?
Y'all hear that?
Come through.
All right. So, guys, thank you all for joining us. And we will see you on the flip side.
Oh, I love you. Hit him with the shoulders. Hit him with the shoulders. Self-love.
Absolutely.